Welcome to the Triple P podcast, Preds, Pucks, Pinoys, hosted by Justin Bradford and Matt Best.
Hello, stranger people that we haven't talked to in a long time. Justin Bradford, Matt Best, Triple P, Preds, Pucks, Pinoys. You know, Matt, it's one of those things that just when people think we have given up,
we come back from the dead. I mean,
we come back from the dead. We record.
We had some real life shit happen, or I had some real life shit happen. So we were supposed to record last Tuesday, I think it was. We planned, and then I lost a pet for the first time in my life. And I messaged you. I was like, "Yeah, no,
not happening.
No,
not happening."
Yeah, so
which
that's
first of all, how are you doing?
Better. I think better is the right word here.
That is. Yeah.
There's been a lot of people that have reached out and. To be honest, when I knew my dog was getting sick, we almost lost her 2 to 3 months ago, I was like, hey, got to spend as much time with her as possible. I thought maybe that would help when the time came. It doesn't.
Never
help.
does. No.
Not even close. I'm thankful. There's no regrets. She's not in pain anymore and all that good stuff. But if you've never lost a pet before, holy ever-loving shit, does it suck.
That's why I'm scared. I've had my cat since 2007.
Yeah, so, I mean...
That's my first real pet. I had gerbils. Those don't count.
Yeah, no, I've grown up with fish. We had a dog when I was younger, but I wasn't old enough to understand, what it meant to have a pet. And now, we had Cody from 2009, so... Yeah. I mean, she's a German Shepherd. She wasn't supposed to live past, 8 or 9.
Right.
And so she lived almost 13, and, to the very end, she had a smile on her face, but it was just too much. She had cancer towards the back of her legs, and Shepherds have bad hips to begin with, so once she could no longer do basic dog functions on her own, it was it's time. And so I remember I woke up in the morning and my mom woke me up and she's like, I know you work today, but we need to go put Cody down. And Cody was up at the cottage with my dad, which is her favorite place in the world. Mm-hmm. And so I called in sick. Well, I didn't call in sick. I told my boss, I was like, hey, listen, not coming in. And then ended up going to the cottage for 2 days. As soon as I saw Cody at 4 o'clock when we got there, slept on the floor next to her that whole night. Just put a blanket on the ground and a pillow, said, fuck it, just going to lay here. Gave her all the belly rubs and everything. So there's zero regrets. I'm just sad because my dog's gone, but I'm not sad because she didn't suffer. She had a good life. Not once was she ever mistreated or anything. I'm just happy she's not in pain.
Well, and I'm happy that you got to spend time with her.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're able to be able to experience that and have those moments that are ever going to be with you, man.
Yeah. My buddy told me, I remember my best friend now, we actually met in university. He told me the day, trying to think of the best way to phrase it. We were in university and he came back real sad one day and he's like, yeah, my parents put down my dog without me there. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was no. That's tough. So throughout this whole process, he was like, you need to be there when it happens. He's like, because to this day, it's my biggest regret. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And that's not fun either. But there are moments when you're with the animal for the last few minutes and they are just yeah, I know it's my time, and you find comfort in that. So to anyone who's ever lost a pet before, that sucks. And anyone who has a furry friend, give them an extra hug tonight.
I know there's plenty of people out there that can relate, so it's humanizing.
Yeah,
and it's real
tough,
but we're all with you, buddy. Just getting through it, and we're everyone on here. I mean, your DMs are way even more open than mine, it seems.
The support that we got from friends of the podcast, or that I got from friends of the podcast, was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. So thank you to everyone who reached out and said something nice, shared some stories. Sharing stories and talking about it helps. That was super kind. So I love you all. Thank you.
We have a lot of good people that
listen. Do, and for people who were putting their Spotify listened up today and showing that our old place was their number one and then saying they came over. Right. Yeah. We're big fans of that.
It. And I know we promised we were going to give you more episodes, folks. Just, it's been really busy.
Yeah.
So, and this is not a slight anything. We don't get paid for it. We do it because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we appreciate you all listening and hanging through. And we try to give you as much good content as possible whenever we are able to record. But yeah, lots of stuff. I know Matt's been through hell. I'm planning a wedding and still with my new job, and it is annual enrollment period for Medicare, which is what my job is all about, which that ends next week. So that'll probably ease up a few things just in terms of work stress. But then,
Let's I
yeah.
feel as if I say it out loud now, we're going to have to be forced to do it, and I think that's good for us. Let's try for 2 a week. Try.
Try. Well, see, here's another thing that makes it difficult. When the Predators have so many freaking home games in a week,
Yeah.
it does make it difficult because it's like I get home from a game after 11 and I need to go to bed.
It's tough.
Like 3 home games, like, well, okay, I have live radio show on Wednesdays as well, which is when we're recording this. So like I need to have a life.
Yeah.
So I hate condensed schedules. I despise these condensed
It's
schedules.
not fun.
It has been, especially for you when sports is your job, like that, your job.
There's no like low
There's no
night.
break.
It doesn't.
There's
like,
no break.
Mondays are notoriously like 3 or 4 games, but where I work, we have to do Rogers hometown hockey, so there's like an additional. It's like there's 10 games on at once, kind of feeling.
Oh
so
my
there's
God.
really no breaks. But yeah, let's try. Okay, 1 to 2 a week. We can do
one
that.
to 2. But that's what frustrates me is that we have not had a normal schedule in 3 years.
No.
For 3 seasons, we've not had a normal schedule where there's like 6 back-to-backs all season instead of like 13.
Yeah.
I mean, the Preds have some weird Wednesday, Thursday back-to-backs. They hardly have any Saturday games this month. What the hell is the schedule, man?
I feel like the schedule makers were like, who wants all the Saturday games? Well, we have to give a bunch of Canadian teams the Saturdays. And who can we shaft? They're like Southern markets. You're on dock. Yeah. It's
yeah. But the Predators have been a team that, I've canvassed plenty of people, and I have my own thoughts, and I know plenty of people have their own thoughts. So be curious to get yours just from someone who follows it again from the outside, is not inundated with Preds talk all the time, like I am, being in market and managing that Facebook group, right?
mm-hmm.
In terms of expectations of where we thought the team might be and where they are right now. And not in terms of standings, but in terms of team performance and everything and where about they are, because it is pretty tight in the Central in terms of points and everything. This team is about doing what I thought they would, which is they'll have some winning streaks, they'll have some losing streaks. There's going to be some times where fans are going to be like, oh yeah, man, this team can really put it together. And what the hell, fire everybody. They just need to change everything up. That's what's just going to happen with a young team and a lot of new faces and everything like that. So it's about where I expected. I expected them to be a little bit lower in the standings, but this is just how things have played out. Still expect them to be at best a bubble team for the playoffs, which is totally okay. And I've seen plenty of people post to just enjoy the ride, whatever it is, just know what to expect and enjoy the ride of young people getting more time, that Matt Duchene is performing well, that Mikael Granlund is in the tops of assists in the league, that look at the positives and just kind of enjoy the season without expectations, and it's going to make it much easier no matter what happens.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that when you look at the standings, you also have to take it and just realize that the Preds are 2 points out of being 6th, as pretty as it is that they're in 3rd right now. And We're recording at 11:16 p.m. on December 1st. So, I mean, the standings could change by the time that happens, even though the Leafs put a shellacking on the Avs tonight. Austin Matthews, no mustache. The Preds are where we both thought they were, yes, but I think it comes in a different circumstance.
Yes.
Tolvanen and Matthias Ekholm have been pretty much invisible the whole year. So in comes Matt Duchene, in comes Mikael Granlund taking his stuff to the next level. And so those 2 guys are kind of replacing the workload and the expectation from 2 guys that we thought would do a lot. The rest of the roster itself, I'm just looking through it here. Nothing really surprises me other than the lack of time that Myers has seen. It's not nice to see, but this is just like all the love for Tanner Jeannot kind of disappeared and then reappears and then disappears and then reappears. But that's the kind of player he's going to be for his career. Mm-hmm. It's not that he's a good player or a bad player. He's Tanner Jeannot. Right where he is right now, he's on pace for what we thought, right? 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in 22 games, not a detriment on the ice, taking more penalties this year compared to last year when he was super, super disciplined. But he is exactly right where we thought, which is good and bad. It's right in the middle. Roman Yossi's having a hell of a season too. I mean, we can go up and down this roster and point out who's doing great and who's doing poorly, but they're exactly where we thought they would be
as a team.
Yeah, as a team. There's no good, no bad. This is just this is it. This is what you're going to get, kind of thing.
It's just different players have gotten them to this point compared to what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, the
So
shoulders.
you're not expecting Matt Duchene
No.
to be performing like this, or Ryan Johansson.
Like, if you told me at the start of the season that 22 games in, Matt Duchene would have 13 goals and Tolvanen would have 1, I'd be like,
Crazy.
What is wrong with you? That's absolutely incorrect. It's wild. Like, we thought Luke Cunnin, we've thought for the last 2 years, would take another step. We thought Phil Tomasino could maybe contribute a little bit more, but he hasn't been given that opportunity. But, I mean, if Matt Duchene and Mikael Granlund want to run with it, let them run with it. And if Forsberg wants to score 4 goals in a night more, let him do it. Like,
Speaking of, did you see all the free food that Preds fans got because of those 4 goals?
I envy you immensely. So I saw that there was a bunch of free food, but I don't know what the free food was because I don't remember it.
Okay, so now I wasn't able to really participate just because work and things like that, but plenty of people were able to partake in this. So I'm going to list off everything that Preds fans were able to get today. So because of the hat trick, they're Hattie B's, which is Nashville hot chicken.
Yes, sir.
It starts off with 3 chicken tenders, but it's a tender per goal. So Hattie B's gave out 4 free tenders at all Nashville locations.
So does anything come with the tenders, or is it just tenders?
I think it's just the tenders, and you have to add the sides.
How much does that come to usually, just the tenders there? I'm
Gosh,
trying to
it's
get like
gotta
an MSRP kind of thing.
That's got to be at least I'd say $6 or $7, maybe.
Okay, that's pretty good. All right, that's good
maybe,
value.
I mean, it's Nashville prices, and then a Wendy's free Frosty or Frosty Chino. I think that's a little over $1.
What the hell's a Frosty Chino?
I think it's like a mocha Frosty, something like that.
Either I don't go to Wendy's enough, or that's an American thing.
Probably. Hardee's is a famous star with cheeseburger. So basically, like their burger.
So why was that given out?
That was given out because the Predators scored with less than 5 minutes remaining in the second period.
So many food promos.
There's free queso from
Jesus.
Moe's because they won.
That's pretty good.
And then a donut from Twice Daily, which is a gas station convenience store. Free donut because of the shutout.
You could legitimately not have to pay for a meal the following day, and just
a cheeseburger, 4 chicken tenders, a Frosty, queso, and a donut. I mean, come on.
It's pretty good. You get all the courses.
You do. So Filip Forsberg, and here's the thing: I want to get more than anything. I know what I think, and a lot of people have already listened to me, whether it's the Preds pregame show or PBR. But I think it's a good opportunity for people to hear your take on stuff too about Forsberg. I mean, coming back from injury, he's come out just on a tear, obviously, with production, and I think it's just because he wants to produce. It's not just a contract year thing; it's more that we're seeing him with a playmaker like Mikael Granlund, who has the 4 primary assists as well, that he's being set up quite well for these things. And he even said in the post-game show that when you're being set up like that, it makes his job a little bit easier with what he's doing. But it's great that he has these 4-goal games. And lately, it's been good since he came back from injury. But what his team needs more than anything is him to be a consistent producer instead of a streaky producer. What leads this team to the playoffs is consistency and not a hat trick here or there, or a 2-goal, 1 assist, a 3-point night, once every 7 or 8 games. He needs to be putting points on the board at least every other game.
Yeah, like he has to be quote unquote the guy, because when you look at the star talent on this team, he is the guy. What this reminds me of, him having an elite setup man, it feels like Mike Ribeiro is just dishing him the puck. And it's not to say that Forsberg needs that elite setup man. I just think Forsberg needs that give a shit level back in his game. I mean, you look at his first few years coming onto the scene, he's like, hey guys, look at me. I can score 26, 33, blah, blah, blah. I can score all those goals. Now he's like, nah, I got injured, but I got a contract here. So I do give a shit now. I do have to play incredibly hard. And it's just an added bonus that he has Granlund on just with him most of the time now. Is this sustainable though? I mean, 15 points in 13 games, you get 4 goals here or there. I still think he's on track to play 60-ish games with, 58 to 65 points.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And 30 goals is what I would guess.
Yeah, the streaking is still going to be there. What I need to see now over the next quarter. So we saw what the first quarter was, which was him half injured.
Yep.
But now the next 20 games, is he going to consistently produce, or is it going to be he has this great few games back? And this is not a shot at him. It's just how he is. We're looking at the
That's
math.
how he's always been.
That's how he's always been, and he knows it. He's addressed it. He's talked about how he needs to be more consistent. So now these 20 games since he returned from injury, is he going to consistently produce? And again, it doesn't mean he has to get a point every single night. It's on average, is he going to average 20 points in those 20 games?
He the thing that bothers the ever living hell out of me with Forsberg is some nights he's not shoot first. Some nights he's just cruising around. He's like, I'm gonna be a pure power forward tonight. And then Tuesday other nights, and then other nights he's like, I'm gonna shoot the puck, which is why his shooting percentage is pretty absurd right now. It's over 30. But
4 goals and 4 shots.
In his first game back from injury, I was like, all right, here we go. Here's a goal. Had a couple shots. Second game back, had 2 goals, 3 shots, and then he went 1 shot. One shot. And I was like, this is the streakiness. And he's like, hey, Matt, shut the hell up. Here's 4 goals. And you 4 goals on 4 shots. That's not going to happen often. But shoot the puck. Shoot the puck more and more and more. You look at all the big name stars in the NHL, and this is like the most no shit point I'll ever make on this podcast. But they shoot. David Pastrnak, his shot prop is always 3.5. Ovechkin, 4.5. You get plus money for Filip Forsberg right now because the league knows and the books know that he's not always looking to shoot. But when he shoots, good things happen. My long-winded answer to this, like to myself here, is I don't bet his shot prop ever. But if he shoots, it's not like as easy as, the results will come, but just shoot the puck, man. Something's going to happen. You got people in front of the net all the time now, which is new for this Predators team. Just fire the damn puck and make me stop pulling my hair out.
So let's continue on in terms of, let's look at the rest of the league, because especially with your job, you're having to look at the rest of the league a lot. And so some things I want to point out is a quarter of the way through the season, especially looking at the West, it is kind of unique because Colorado's sitting in 6th in the division, but 3 games less than the Predators. So if you take it into account, Colorado could be 2nd in the division as well. And they get a Nathan McKinnon coming back. We saw Colorado did to Nashville as well too. Then also looking at where Vegas is at in their division. And then looking what Anaheim has been able to put together as well. We did not expect the California teams to be doing this whatsoever. And then the trash that Arizona and Vancouver are going through. Arizona admittedly tanking. I mean, just full admitted tanking, which, okay, I get it. At least they're admitting it. And then over in the East, Detroit actually playing really competitive hockey. And then you have the New York Islanders that are in the basement of the Metro right now. And then you have the players that you expected to be at the top of the Metro, Washington, Carolina, Pittsburgh, things like that happening. And even the Rangers making a play there. What is your take on the league so far? And is there anything that really stands out to surprise you? I mean, not including Toronto, because Toronto's expected to be doing well with the talent that they have, but other things in the league that are kind of standing out to you, like, did not expect to see that a quarter of the way in the season.
This year, more than ever, the loss of a pure star player on the roster has led to your team absolutely sucking. Vegas, with no Stone and Pacioretty, were treading water. When they get both back in the lineup, they're starting to click a little. It's going to take a few games. Colorado, no McKinnon. They're 11-7 right now. Colorado being 11-7 reminds me of how the Leafs started 4-4 because Matthews just had to get eased back into the lineup. And when you lose your literal best player, and it's not even close, it's tough to replace that. And for Colorado, McKinnon is always constant. He's always steady. Landeskog's the heart, and Rantanen is there for just being a good 80 to 90 point player. But McKinnon is your superstar. You lose him, you're not going to do as well as you're actually supposed to do. 11-7 for Colorado won't last. They'll be top 3 in the West or in the Central very, very quickly. For Detroit, it's no pressure hockey. It reminds me of when the Leafs almost snuck into the playoffs when they were playing no pressure hockey and was just like, all right, Phil Kessel, go do your thing. And now it's just, all right, youth movement, go do your thing. Like Zadina, Hronek, Lucas Raymond, that guy is nuts. He's so fun to watch. That's been fun to watch. Boston, without Tuukka Rask, they're a tough team. Jeremy Swayman isn't the best goalie ever, even though people are touting him to be. I think Swayman will be good next year or the year after. That's my take on the Bruins there. And then the Islanders. That team got smacked with COVID hard. So I'm going to cut them a break. And the Islanders don't have that superstar that they can go, hey, go score a bunch of goals. And I know people will be like, they have Matt Barzal. Barzal's good. I just don't think without the rest of his team and in the structure that New York likes to play that Barzal can actually carry the team. You'll see a bunch of like superstar plays from him here and there, but he's playing Islanders hockey, which is slow, clog up the zone, and then make your entrance in, which helps the rest of the team because that's the kind of roster they have when you have a literal like early 2000s fourth line still. They're still old school Lou Lamoriello. I don't think anybody's job is in danger in Long Island. This will be a washout season, kind of just, all right, we had COVID, that's it kind of thing. And there's still tons of season left. 17 games. They're going to make up all their games. We could be looking back on this episode and going, wow, remember when we counted them out? All they need to do is go on like a 10-3 run, which is doable for that team. They have two of the best goaltenders.
Totally.
They have a great goaltending duo. When everything works up front, it's fine. Their defense is just rock solid. They're better than their record indicates. I think this team will turn it around, but it won't be, hey, Stanley Cup contender, but I will put some money on them for a futures bet, because when you only have 12 points and you have a mountain to climb, you can do it compared to Ottawa, Montreal, Buffalo, Arizona, Chicago. I think out of the bad, I just hit my mic, out of the bad teams, I was trying to do air quotes, the Islanders are the best.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. And just to kind of throw this in there in terms of NHL, but with trades relative to the Predators, and obviously with Myers not getting the playing time and the coach basically calling it out that they don't feel like he's up to par. And then Cody Glass still being in the AHL, but you see Ryan Ellis just injured with the Flyers. I mean, trade break even or even better just because they got rid of cap space overall because they knew Ellis was injury prone and paying a lot of money for that. So I still think that's a good move. I mean, we see right now how it's playing out like almost immediately. Start of the season, Ellis on the IR. So it's just curious to see that as well. That is kind of the premonition of he's probably going to be injured for a while. So might as well just dump this and see what we get in return. And as we all know, Myers are not meant to be an Ellis replacement. It's meant to be a young potential prospect to see what they have because they know they have plenty of other blue liners in the system or anything else. It wasn't meant to be a replacement. It was getting a body.
Myers is like the defensive version of Tanner Jeannot. Undrafted, let's see what he can do kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just a big prove it, and he hasn't really taken it and ran with it yet.
And Cody Glass is still young. There's still time for him.
The whole Cody Glass is he a bust or not conversation I won't have for another like 2 years.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for him to develop and gain confidence and get an opportunity to do that as well. And so it's good for him to get top playing time in Milwaukee. So I don't look at that trade as trying to do a 1-for-1. It was a clear cap so they can have some space for the future because they know they have guys to sign.
Yeah.
And Ryan Ellis is injury prone.
Yeah.
That's what the move was.
It was both teams, let's take a chance kind of thing. And both teams were in the perfect position to do so. The Predators needing to lose cap space and the Flyers in win now mode. Because if you can get Ryan Ellis in the playoffs with that team, watch the hell out.
Yeah, they took a flyer on him.
I like what you did there.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get to our pop culture that we always do, I want to make sure, because it is December 1st. And, we are Pinoys.
We are.
How about that? About some Filipino holiday food traditions, because, it's the whole month. First of all, I want to make sure I say, too, last year, do you remember the Disney short, the little short that was actually a commercial they put on the Disney Plus that focused on Filipino traditions?
Yes. You and I lost our minds about that.
Yes, made me cry and everything. Made me get a parole. I got one for me, for my mom, and everything too. So that was like a new thing. I had to put that in the window still to get that going and everything. But if there's like a food traditionally, say on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, because I know like for a lot of Filipinos, like Christmas Eve is bigger than Christmas Day. Like for us, it was. Man,
I remember growing up, all the parties where like all your titos and titas are throwing like literal loonies and toonies at you as a child. There's like,
and then going to mass at midnight, like, oh, I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, no,
I want Santa to come.
Yeah, it's like, okay, go party with your cousins first. Go get money thrown at you, which is like, ooh, what a first world problem. But they're chucking loonies and toonies at you. It's like, oh God, I don't want this. My mom always used to, at those parties, she would save up her Canadian Tire money and then just run to the middle and throw the Canadian Tire money at everyone. And now that tradition's gone because they went full electronic.
Oh.
Which kind of sucks because that's like one of my favorite childhood memories because I would know that it's going to happen. And then like growing up still like at 15, 16 when you can drive and like actually go to places, I was like, I'm going to take all this Canadian Tire money. and just keep it in the family, and then that's all gone.
Well. So to get to the question that I was going to ask, I guess, what's a food that you traditionally would have that just makes you feel like special occasion, especially around the holidays?
Pancit always.
Oh, that's especially New Year.
Like the noodles is long life
Noodles.
and like love and all that kind of stuff. So when there's a birthday, it happens. When like it's Christmas, there's like 4 trays of it. And then around that same time, like I just remember growing up, my mom would cook so much food, and if I was in elementary school, she'd bring some for like the principal and the teachers and things like that.
Oh man.
Not to like kiss ass or anything, because my mom like also
long life.
Yeah, my mom also used to be like the lunch monitor kind of thing outside during recess, just volunteering, so they knew who she was, so it wasn't like she was being like, hey, give my kid good grades because he's an idiot. But that's like the number one food I always think of, because around this time of the year, like we're sharing, we're like being more kind to one another, we're giving and receiving gifts is the word I was definitely going to say there. That's the number one food. And my mom always puts a special touch with it. She adds like crunchy pork inside of it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say more patis.
No, I did I ever tell you my patis story?
Oh no.
So
well, first of all, let's do some clarifications.
Yes.
Those that are wondering what pancit is, it's the noodle dish. I mean, the only thing you compare is because there's different types of noodles you can use with it, but let's just say it's the Filipino lo mein.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the easiest
I think that's
way.
fair.
Okay, but you're in patis is fish sauce,
Which smells awful.
Smells awful, but tastes great in certain dishes because it adds flavor, and you don't even realize it's in there.
And the smell disappears when you cook it into things.
Exactly, because there's so many dishes like this tastes great. You're like, oh, that's the patis. You're like, oh, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So growing up, it's like, oh, it smells, and you eat it, and you're like, it's good, whatever. I remember because I used to live close to my family house in elementary school. I was like, I'm gonna take like a water bottle of patis to school and make people smell it because I think that's funny. So I take it to school. My plan's going well. People are smelling it. I'm opening the bottle, going, smell this, and people are smelling it until it spills all over my backpack, which is in the classroom. And so I remember the teacher being like, what is that smell? And I was like, I'm done. Like this is my life now. And my mom had to come and like get my stuff, and she was mortified. She's like, you're embarrassing our culture. I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, I got nothing here.
You're embarrassing our culture. Well, it's just our family. You're speaking for all.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because all these kids who are like young and impressionable, it's grade 6 and 7, I'm pretty sure, are gonna be like, Filipinos are stinky. And it's like, well, no, just one idiot's really dumb and brought fish sauce to school and spilled it everywhere. I can't even think of a comparison for what it smells like.
I mean, if
sour fish.
Yeah, just like think of dead fish washing up on the beach. And then you put that in food and you eat it.
Yum.
Now it's fine cooking, but there are plenty of people that just dip stuff in it without cooking.
That's hardcore Filipino. That's not.
That's
for me.
Hardcore Filipino. That is not for us halvesies.
No. We're weak. We need it mixed into our food.
We are totally weak when it comes to that.
And then when we mix it in our food, we're like, it's a big deal.
See, patis
culture.
Look at this, Filipino. So for me, the one that is definitely a special occasion dessert is leche flan.
Oh, so good.
I ate. So hold on. Alex and I had an engagement party, small engagement party with family / a few friends, as well as a Friendsgiving a couple weeks ago. And my mom surprised us with a leche flan because she knows that Alex really likes that. But she made 2 leche flans, so you can tell it's a special occasion. My mom makes 2 flans, and so every family has their way that they make it. Some people, you're supposed to make it where it's really custardy and smooth. Some people have it where there's air bubbles and they like it. I'm like, it is not an aero bar. It's supposed to be custardy flan. Please cover it and keep the air out of your flan. Anyways, the second one, there was about, I'd say, a third of it remaining. We took it home. I ate a third of leche flan in one sitting.
How big's the dish?
I mean, the flan piece was about this big.
Oh, I love it.
You know that's a lot of flan.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so rich.
So much. But it's
home. So
the question I was going to ask you in the beginning is it homemade or like picked up from a shop? the fact that it's homemade is what
Hell
makes
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah, I
homemade.
was gonna say, if it's not homemade,
No.
it'd be kind of sad.
It's homemade. No, it's homemade flesh of flan. Like that's the specialty that people go nuts over, at like holiday potlucks and everything. Vien brought flan.
It's so.
And if you had Mexican style flan, they're similar, but they are different. It's similar cultures, as we've discussed before. All the Latin cultures it's similar, but it's still very different. It is specifically Filipino. Filipino flan compared to a Mexican flan, they are different.
Does your mom put a twist on it, or add anything to it, or do it like
A twist
differently? Okay.
It is straight up Galban family flan.
I want it so bad right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I don't think I've had flan in 2
because it's not easy to make.
Yeah, no, 2.
It's
My
time
mom is
consuming.
a wizard at the oven for cooking Filipino food, like on the stovetop and like grilling things, stuff like that. She hates baking, but when she does bake, it's kick ass too. But she hates doing it, so we only get it every now and then. Or if I like go beg right now, then I could get it. But
Yeah, play the card.
yeah, it's Christmas, please.
But flan is an intensive thing to make.
It's hard as hell to make.
Timing and temperature and everything, because it's so easy to mess up.
Yeah,
It's just easy to mess up.
or it'll just turn into either muck or hard and
bubbly.
grossness.
Yeah. And so, folks, if you do special halo halo, then you get a piece of flan typically on that as well. And halo halo, what that means is mix. For those of you that don't know, it's shave ice. It's Filipino shave ice.
With the works, I guess, is the
With
best way to put it.
Red beans, coconut, young and shredded and shaved and everything, and jellies and flan and ube, like everything.
You
Like
can get
it's
tapioca
colorful.
in it if you want to. Like,
Boba. I mean,
yeah.
whatever.
Basically, it's just whatever you want inside of it. You'll usually just get like your shaved ice and be like, all right, go put whatever the hell you want on it. It's
Make it special.
yeah, make it yours. Enjoy it. It's
Make
like,
it
all right, I can do
especial.
that. Oh, I'm so hungry right now.
I'm sorry to do that to you, but we had to keep to our Pinoy tradition here.
We did. Do you do anything special, like outside of food, to celebrate being Filipino around the holidays?
Not really, especially not anymore. When like our family patriarch passed, like a decade ago, it's kind of like we typically would go up north.
Right.
We go up north to Canada for Christmas. So, and that when that happens, it just kind of dissipates and everything. But it wasn't necessarily especially Filipino. I mean, if we have a get together, we'd have a whole lechon.
Absolutely,
Sometimes.
the whole thing on the table.
With the head and everything, folks. A lechon is a pig, and we're not talking just a smoked pig. It's like you think of like when in the South they smoke a whole pig, except the skin's crispy and you keep the head on.
That's so damn good.
It's so damn good. But it would always typically include going to bilingual mass, which I absolutely just hated. I'm like, oh god, it takes twice as long and it's already Catholic.
I did it once and made such a fuss about it. My parents were like, you don't ever have to go to this again. I was like, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. But yeah, it would just be family get together, and Christmas Eve definitely was bigger. That's where that's where the family would exchange gifts.
Yeah.
Like the extended family would exchange gifts, and Christmas morning was more for your immediate family.
It was
Christmas morning was for.
I remember like telling people when I was growing up that the big party's on Christmas Eve. Like we all go party and go see a bunch of family and friends. Like, what? Why? Like, why don't you do it the weekend before? And it's like, no. That's how it is.
That's
and
how it
you're
is.
usually there at like midnight. If you don't go to midnight mass, you're like, all right, Merry Christmas, everyone. And then you have like your hour drive home if you live too far away from like whoever the house is. And then you get home and it's like, do we open presents now? And then you get in bed and it's like, well, I want to open presents now, but I'm not that tired.
But how's Santa gonna come if I don't sleep?
Yeah, and then years later you find out Santa's actually real. And yeah.
It was me.
I mean, I never know if people are listening to the show with their
You
kids
went
in
Kermit
the car,
right there.
Right?
You almost went full Kermit.
I never know. It's not easy being green. The lovers, the dreamers, and cheese.
By the way, I'm going to see Muppet Christmas Carol in concert with the Nashville Symphony on Friday.
I hate you. I'm so jealous.
I'm so pumped.
Can you take a picture? Or a video or something?
I can't take a video. The ushers will come after me.
You can do it secretly.
I'll try to take a picture.
Okay, that's all I want.
Now just remember, it's the movie. It's not like the Muppets are actually going to be there.
Yeah, no, I know. I
was making sure.
I love
if somebody on the advertisement for this. What are the Muppets going to be there? It's like it's the movie. It's
I love anything Muppets, and I definitely got that from my mom for sure.
Yeah. So on to pop culture.
Pulp
Continue
Fiction.
on with movies. Spider-Man: No Way Home. I know because Matt and I prepared for the show that it was a hassle to get tickets. And for those that are not aware, this is easily going to be the biggest movie since Endgame
Yep.
to come out, period. Not just Marvel movie, but movie, period.
Yep.
Since Endgame, based on what happened. And tickets went on sale for Spider-Man: No Way Home at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time Monday morning, which Central Time would be 11:01 p.m. Central Time Sunday night. We all knew this was going to happen, but every website crashed.
Yep.
The demand, and it was hell to get. I got my tickets. I know Matt got his tickets, but I want to know what some of your stories were, folks. So please tweet at us what happened with you when you finally got your tickets. If you stayed up the whole time, I'll go first because I'm already railing.
Ooh. Yeah, you are.
Uh-huh. So I'm trying at 11:01 p.m. the app's crashed, won't load. Website, it won't. It's like full on server error, and this is all across the country, all across North America, right? AMC, Regal, Cinemark, Fandango, all the movie theater websites were just crashing, and they knew this was coming. Like, this wasn't like a surprise. Tickets are on sale. They were pushing this for a week when tickets are going to go on sale. So finally, at about 11:20, the AMC website is back up, but they've instituted the waiting room, which is a queue, which you're used to buying tickets on an on sale for like a concert or something. It's normal that it happens. And it says your wait time is 11 minutes, 14 minutes, 17 minutes. Like, it keeps going up. So 17 minutes, like, this is not bad. Because I'm looking on Twitter. Other people are like 45 minutes, an hour. I'm like, haha, 17 minutes. This is not bad at all. So it counts down. It lets me into the website. I select my seats. I have A-list with AMC, meaning it is a monthly fee for me, and I get to see as many movies as I want, so it shouldn't cost me anything to do this. Also have Alex and then two of my other friends that I'm supposed to be getting tickets for, so 4 tickets that are also AMC A-list members, called the Entourage. So I select all 4 seats. I get to the next screen where you're supposed to select your entourage, meaning the people that you're buying seats for. Doesn't appear. I'm like, oh god.
I was waiting for the punchline.
Oh god. So then I'm like, you know what? It's okay. F it. I'll pay in cash because I want to make sure we're guaranteed to see this on opening night. Not knowing what it's going to be like here in Nashville. I know other cities are like packed out already. So I get to the payment screen. I'm like, I'm really going to be paying $36 for 3 tickets when I don't have to. But I need to. So I hit the pay now button. Error. Unable to complete transaction. Kicks me back to the fucking waiting room where it says over an hour wait.
How mad were you? Where were you? Paint the picture for me. Were you in people's company is what I want to know.
No, Alex is already in bed.
Okay.
My friend Cameron Gumpy, who I was also getting tickets for him and his wife, he was already in bed, so he didn't know because he tweeted the next morning of when Tom Holland Spider-Man makes the hammock when he's locked in that big warehouse of just like chilling. He's like, me while Justin Bradford is struggling to get us tickets. Doop, boop,
That's
doop,
good.
boop.
I like that.
So I'm in the living room and I'm yelling out so many obscenities quietly as to not wake Alex.
Mother,
God damn, all that stuff.
Piece
You've
of
got to be
shit.
fucking kidding me.
I'll pay money for this shit.
So I'm seeing even like Brandon Davis at comicbook.com, like the head of comicbook.com. He's based in Nashville, is freaking out because he's trying to get tickets too to be a fan to go watch it, not just do the screening. And he actually replied to one of my tweets. I was like, did you get in? I was like, no. Did you? No. Everybody's freaking out. The website continues to crash. AMC Cares is, a piece of shit. And some people are not getting in. When I went in,
they don't care.
They don't care. So only so many seats were taken. It's like, okay, we're doing okay. But then I start seeing reports on Twitter of certain theaters being sold out for 2 days straight. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So the 17 minutes that it said took over 30 minutes. So like there was an inaccurate countdown. So at this point, it's at about midnight. And it still says an hour to wait. I'm like, and with my new job, I have to get to work much earlier than I ever had to do with the symphony. Like, oh God, it's the beginning of the week. We just got back from a vacation or a family vacation in Fort Wayne, Indiana the night before. So I was already tired. And I'm like, I'm going to wait it out. I really want these tickets. So I waited out. And I know this is a long drawn out story, but this is everything that was happening. So I waited out. It got down to like 45 minutes. Okay. Getting there. 40 minutes. Getting closer. It's already past 12:30.
You're nuts.
35 minutes. Okay. It gets to be 1 a.m. and it's down to 30 minutes. I'm like, this could not go any slower. It keeps counting down. It gets down to 23 minutes and it's about 1:25 in the morning. I'm like, if I just wait it out 20 more minutes, I can do this. I can do this. It gets to 23 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I have not touched anything out of nowhere. It jumps up to over an hour.
Oh, I would have lost my mind.
I was laying in bed at this point because I was just going to wait in bed. So as soon as I got him, I could go to sleep. So Alex is asleep next to me. And that happens. And I just whisper, "Are you fucking kidding me, piece of shit? Fuck this." Slam my phone down. I was like, I'm going to bed. Whispering to myself, like as if the cat is going to hear me and anybody's going to hear me. So then I'm like, this is I'm not going to see it opening day. I'm going to have it spoiled for me. This is awful. I know I'm being overly dramatic about this, but it's true.
No, this is a big deal.
It's a big. I don't want to spoil it. It's not more that I want to be the first to see it. I do not want it spoiled because people are assholes and they love to spoil movies on social media. And part of my job is being on social media. My day job. I get paid to be on social media. I can't ignore social media.
Yes.
So that is one of the reasons to explain myself. So luckily, Alex got up to use the restroom at 4 a.m. And because she knew, because before she went to bed, knew some of the things were going on, she checked her app and she quietly woke. She's like, hey, what? The app's working now if you want to get the tickets. I was like, okay.
I'm wide awake.
So it's 4 a.m. I go and get the tickets. There were still at least like 30 seats available in the showing that I wanted to see in our bigger theater. Got my 4 seats, got the entourage all to load properly, didn't pay a dime.
Free, yeah.
For free, yeah. Free included.
Yeah.
Got the tickets, 4:01, phone down, back asleep before 4:05. Hell yeah. But that was what I went through.
That's a nightmare.
An awful experience.
When you told me in the show notes that we were going to talk about this, I was like, yeah, I got a good 30 seconds to explain my story. Yours is way better. I'm very happy with yours.
I'm dramatic, though. But that's everything. There was no exaggeration at all in any of that.
Are you, like, do you get to pick your seats?
For our theater, yes. There's things called AMC, just regular AMCs and AMC Classic. Classics are the older school, so still stadium seating, but they're regular seats.
Right.
And a lot of them don't do reservations. Ours are recliners.
Nice.
All recliners and assigned seats, which is beautiful because you don't have to get to the theater early anymore to wait in line on an opening night to get your good seats or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just go in with assigned seats. A lot of people time it well to just go right when the trailers are ending or beginning, whatever. And we have food delivery comes to the seats for our theaters as well too, which is great.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, no, my story is it was at midnight and I was like, all right, let's try and buy. And then I went on the website and it just didn't work. And I went, well, I guess I'm not seeing it on the day I want to go see it. And let's try the next day. Website still wouldn't work. It's like, I'm just going to go to bed now and be done with this and try in the morning. Woke up in the morning, went on the website, wouldn't work, got all mad, got on Twitter, started looking at other people not being able to get tickets. And then I had a moment of, why don't I just try using the app? Open the app, within like 30 seconds, had my 2 tickets. Just done. Up here we have like VIP theaters, so it's like a regular movie theater that has like your regular seats and like there's a bunch of them over there, but then there's the VIP section, which is literally another theater within the theater. Like there's different like, you know how there's like numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you go in, it's like another section of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and these are like double wide lazy boy chairs that you sit in. They're big leather ones that fully recline. Like if you want to lay down completely and nap, you can do that. You have like a tray you can put up over you. There's 2 cup holders for yourself, and there's booze. There's like full meals. Like you can have calamari if you want. You can have like a steak. And so that's what I'm doing to go see it. Now here's the kicker. My girlfriend hasn't seen any of the Spider-Man movies. And so I said to her, I was like, I'm gonna invite my buddy Jason first, see if he can go, because he's the only one that like I know I could be like, hey, let's go right now, let's go. So I messaged him and he's like, yeah, I'll let you know. And then he's like, can't go. So I said to her, I was like, you're going with me and I'm making you watch the other Spider-Man movies before. I was like, that's the only thing we can do here.
Like all 5?
No, because
she's 7.
She's seen 1, 2, and 3. Old Toby.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm assuming, but I would just.
Okay.
I hope so. Just maybe the 2 Tom Holland ones, and that's it.
Not gonna worry about Amazing Spider-Man.
Nah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Even though there's a scene that ties in directly with it, I'm 99.9% sure. But I'm just gonna leave that.
The trailer,
alone.
especially.
I mean, yeah. She was a trooper and went to James Bond with me without having seen any of the other ones. I showed her like a 9-minute, here's what you need to know about James Bond, and she enjoyed it, so.
I mean, at least a lot of James Bond, even though this is the first time they really connected the stories, at least a lot of them do stand well on their own. Yeah,
it's still bad guy has a good guy James Bond chasing. This one.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so.
So what, do you have any, I know we'll have another show before, but do you have any predictions, any outlandish predictions for Spider-Man? Or something that you hope to see?
Yeah, Mary Jane not dying would be cool.
That would be, yeah, please don't do that.
That would, I remember watching that in The Amazing Spider-Man being like, well, that's sad. So with everything that I've invested in this, like time-wise, I'd be even more sad. Also,
don't kill the main female character.
Yeah, also I watched the second Venom. I had time to do that because I've just been laying in bed and watching movies. But yeah, I watched that and I saw the end credit scene, so I was like, oh, okay.
Sinister Six.
Yeah, so I'm even more excited for Spider-Man. Do you think this will gross more than Endgame?
No,
I do.
What? Okay, but here's what you want to hear my reasoning.
Yeah,
economics. There's still not enough people ready to go to the theater.
Yeah.
There's still some theaters certain see this I got you.
You do, yeah. No, that's like straight logic. That you have no rebuttal, yeah.
Because you think there's still restrictions in some cities or some countries and everything like that too. Endgame was in the theaters for so long they even re-released Endgame. They could do that with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As well. So I still don't think it's going to be an Avatar for the reason. If this was a normal time without restrictions or anything like that still, or anything where people just might feel a little uneasy about going and not necessarily care about the restrictions, but feel uneasy going themselves, then okay, I think it might because of the hype behind it and because of how it's going to change so much just in the Marvel Cinematic Universe overall for the multiverse. Yes, I think it would have a chance, but I can't see it happening right now because there's plenty of people I see just saying, I'll just wait for it to come on stream. I don't feel like going to the theater.
Yeah, no, I have no rebuttal. My other question to you, which you answered, was if it was normal times, do you think it stood a chance? I do.
Yeah,
I think it stood a pretty good chance because the people who fell in love with the current iteration of Marvel movies are the same people who went to the theaters to go see Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, when the first one came out in the early 2000s, I remember with friends, we're like, you guys ready to go? Because we were at a charity event. It's like, okay, we got to go now. Now.
And then I remember playing the Spider-Man video games, the first one where you could free swing around the city.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, this is like similar to Grand Theft Auto, but the difference is if my parents come in the room, if I'm playing Spider-Man, they won't be freaking out. But if I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, they'll be like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, because you weren't doing a stripper for the cash after you kill her.
With the hot coffee mod in San Andreas, only the originals will know that.
Oh, my God. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for it. What excites me about opening up reactions, and this is the thing too, what's gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna have people like me. They're gonna go multiple times.
Yes, you are. I guess. Let me guess how many times you go. I'm gonna guess at least 3. I'm gonna guess if you really like it, 5.
Okay, you were right. My goal is 3.
Yeah, but if this blows your socks off, I have a feeling. What's the most you've ever been to a movie?
Oh, that was Endgame.
Which was?
11.
You're lying to me. You saw that 11 times in the theater? Do you need an intervention? Are you okay?
So here's the thing when people freak out about that.
There's no. There's no here's the thing. That's a...
No, there is a thing.
Wait, oh, you have your Fun Pass thing. Yeah.
I only had to pay out of pocket once.
But doesn't it get boring seeing the same thing for the 11th time?
I knew it was the culmination
Right.
of things, and that I was not going to be able to experience that in theaters anytime soon ever again.
When people say they love things, you have put this to a way higher standard.
I know. I'm a nerd and I'm crazy, but I mean, think about what I always talk about too with movies. I like seeing them in different formats as well. So regular 3D, Dolby Digital, IMAX. Let's see. There's the Regal one as well. It's like the not Big D, but it's a different one, a different experience. I like seeing the different formats to see what the experience is like.
Yeah, well,
as well with these things.
We have regular 3D D box. It's called where your chair shakes and.
Oh yeah, so that's 4D Assault in that, and I hated it.
I would puke. That just
for 2.5 hours of that.
When we saw James Bond, there were 2 rows in front of us that had that, and all the car seats are woo. Yeah, it's like I would puke. You know, usually when you watch a movie for like the second time, you notice something different, and you're like, "Oh,
that's why I go."
Did you notice anything past number 5?
Sometimes, yes, in terms of slight references to other movies or more, because I was reading more and more and researching more and more and watching other films more and more of little connections and Easter eggs. So yeah, finding more little Easter eggs here, not the ones that are just blatant, but little things in the background. Because what I trained myself to do is watch little things in the background.
I guess
the focus was not supposed to be on.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I know it was crazy.
Yeah, no. It's let's put it this way: you doing that is kind of nuts. But if I had like a friend of mine be like, "Hey, I went and saw Endgame 11 times," be like, "You have a problem." But you doing it, I'm like, I get it, I understand, because you genuinely love it so much. And
the music too, man, because I just love the music.
Yeah, like you're an audiophile for things like that.
And I was going at like 9:30 at night shows.
You're going with people?
Not only like 4 or 5 times.
Wow, you really had some you time.
I did, because I like getting a bucket of popcorn just enjoying a movie, man.
Yeah.
And think about it, when they released Endgame, nothing else touched it for like 3 weeks.
Nope.
No one else was going to release.
And you probably were there for so many people's first time seeing it, so you got to experience the moments with them too, which is cool as hell.
It is. And I think I tweeted about that.
You did. I remember you tweeting about that. Like some part of my subconscious just clicked in and was like,
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Because hearing other people experience things for the first time, that's what's going to be so cool, because I'm planning to go and see Spider-Man, and then a couple days later I want to see it in a different format like IMAX or Dolby. And I know it'll be some people's first time seeing it, and there's going to be those moments where they're going to be like freaking out, and I know it's coming, and it's just that gives me serotonin.
Yeah.
To have other people, to experience other people getting joy out of a movie like that makes me feel happy. I love that experience.
I don't think and correct me, Canadian listeners, if I am wrong, I don't think we have a super fun pass like you do. Like for this VIP movie, it's $22 plus tax, and then you're paying food. So like, if you're going with 2 people, you're paying $60 for your tickets, and then you're paying probably like $15 for a meal, and then like $10 for a beer, and then if you want popcorn on the side, like it's $100 night, easily. But
I mean, so you have like a Cinemark up there?
Cineplex. Yeah.
Cineplex. I think AMC is in some parts, and Famous.
Famous Players in Mississauga.
Yeah. So
but AMC.
How do I know these things?
Because you're an honorary Canadian.
but it's so AMC started the subscription plan after Movie Pass flunked. And then Regal has their own subscription plan. So I don't know if Cinemark or any of the other ones or Cineplex have them, but that's what it is. It's such a subscription. We pay, I think it's like $26 a month or something.
We just have
3
like
movies a week.
Yeah, we just have like a points card.
Yeah. So, and I think
go to the gas station and stuff and like, here's my scene card.
And the thing is, AMC's so big. Like they have so many theaters across the country. That's how they make the profit. Is they're banking on people to not be like me and get the absolute most out of their AMC
be bankrupt.
A-list. Yeah, because I earn more points on like concessions purchases. I get to skip the line, like it's a VIP line. We get to skip the public line for concessions as well. Which
bougie line.
Yes. So little perks like that. You get bonuses for your birthday and everything too. So it is nice. For me, it is 100% worth the cost per month because of how often I love going to the movies.
AMC no longer exists in Canada.
Oh, okay.
They all got bought out. Cineplex bought 4 of them. Okay. And then 2 more locations were sold to Empire, which turned into Landmark, and then the 2 other locations closed.
Well,
sad.
By the way, I remember that you did not have any want to see Ghostbusters. Is that correct?
It wasn't that I didn't have a want to see. I'm just not going to go to the theater to see it.
Okay, well, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I saw your tweet about it, enjoying the movie, and I saw a lot of people tweet about enjoying the movie, and yeah, it's probably a lot of fun.
I grew up with it,
Mm-hmm.
which changes a little bit of nostalgia. I remember watching it as a child, so the nostalgia behind that touches a little bit more. And I think that's what it was targeted for. Were older millennials.
That makes sense.
That was the target for it, to restart the franchise again, not as a reboot, but as a sequel to move the story along a little bit. It was fun. So I definitely recommend you watch it as soon as you can or are able to. I understand not wanting to pay to go, but it was fun being in the movie. It was another one of those fun being in the movie theaters experience to hear what other people are experiencing. I've only seen it once still. I want to see it at least one more time in the theaters because there's some fun moments and there's some Easter eggs that they dropped in this movie to the original one where I'm just going and like tapping Alex. She's like, how do you remember these things?
I just find that I can't watch a movie for the second time until I forget some of it. Like,
that's fair. I know I'm a unique specimen.
But there's some movies where I'm like, yeah, I could watch this 3 times in a row. Like The Dark Knight, I could watch as many times as I want. Like, that's my jam there. But like, I recently rewatched the Bourne trilogy. We're not counting the Bourne Legacy because that movie sucks. And it's not a trilogy, it's 4 movies, I guess. No, was it a trilogy? Anyways, I watched all the Bourne movies. And I was like, oh, I didn't remember that. And now it'll be like another 5 years until I watch it again.
Well, this was so funny. We're watching Home Alone 1 and 2 while we're decorating, and Alex was just sitting down and watching. Like, you don't remember? She's like, it's been so long since I've actually seen the whole movie. And here's me, who watches it multiple times every season, quoting the movie along with watching it and like doing the actions of what's going to happen.
See,
I am a dork.
That's fun though. Also, to confirm, there are 5 Bourne movies: Identity, Supremacy, Ultimatum, Crappy Legacy with Jeremy Renner, and then Jason Bourne. Ranked Identity number 1. I actually really liked Jason Bourne. Legacy's dead last, and then I'd go Supremacy, Ultimatum. The Supremacy has, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne, which is iconic. Like, that's my favorite line from almost any movie.
Well, okay, we need to figure out the time that we're going to record again next. We don't let our listeners down. We'll do that off air.
I was gonna say, are we doing that on air? That's ambitious.
No, that's really ambitious. But the Predators do have multiple home games coming up. Dear God, help us. There's so many hockey games. And even around the holidays, even though it's not on Christmas or Christmas Eve, it's still so many games right around the holiday. And then all of a sudden, what?
I totally, because we didn't record for so long. The Leafs beat the Preds 3-0. Okay, we're good now. Just had to get that out there a little. I mean, during that time, I was messaging Kyle, and we were talking about the game, and he could tell I've been in a shit mood. And also, shout out to Kyle for like checking in on me and stuff like that. He's a good buddy. But yeah, Austin Matthews just scoring some goals. Mitch Marner, David Kampf was a good game. So
the Leafs did what they were supposed to do to the Predators.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's. So. I'm teasing, but
of course, it still gets me whenever the reminder pops up of the 9-2 game.
Well, they won't shut the hell up about it pregame, and like the day before pregame, it's like, can we just leave this alone for a little and not let it come to light? So bad time.
Bad. Yeah. And real quick, I know if people are still with us, the jersey reveal is happening the day that people probably listen to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Stadium Series. It's going to be Navy. Mm-hmm. Don't know what's on the front. I know I've not seen it. Folks. I've heard some things. I've heard some tings about it. I've heard some tings, but I do not know what is on the front. I'm very curious to see, because Stadium Series jerseys have a tendency to be funky.
Yeah.
Not classic.
No. Just be classic with it, because I really want a Roman Josi jersey. That's what I'm getting. And if it's not a good-looking jersey, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Because I'm not going to the Stadium Series without a jersey. And, I have mine here, but it's blank, and I love repping a player.
do you care that you didn't go to the event? Because the Winter Classic jersey is awesome.
Yeah, no, the Winter Classic jersey is like sick. But aren't those really hard to find?
I don't know. I don't buy jerseys because I can't wear them.
Right.
But I mean that, or even the reverse retro is still pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Send me suggestions, friends.
Yes, send them suggestions
of any troll suggestions. I'll probably still reply, but I'll be grumpy about it.
You'll be a little bit grumpy. He'll still laugh. All right, folks. He's at Best of Matt on Twitter. I'm at Justin B. Bradford, also Triple P Podcast _. Thanks so much for sticking with us and for reminding us that we're slackers and we need to record. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the Triple P Podcast, Preds, Pucks, Pinoys. Hosted by Justin Bradford and Matt Best.